Hey folks, EB in Maine. What we have here is a 20-foot formerly camper. A fella local to me built this, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 years ago, who knows. We're going to call this the kind of before video because I sort of forgot to make a before video before now. I've removed the lights from the bumper. Trina removed the deck, which was plywood the other day. So I just wanted to show what we are thinking of doing on this. And as usual, plans will be modified. And I'll change my mind about 37 times. And eventually it'll work okay. It is right around 20 feet to this back cross member from the front. The front area, you can put 2 full pieces of plywood and have a little room to spare. So that's just about 96 by 97 inches on the inside of those rails, give or take a hair or 3. I'm going to probably touch the 2 pieces of plywood that are replacements on the inside and maybe even seal them together. And that'll actually leave me a little bit of space along the inside of these rails for which we can add 2-foot sides or whatever, because that's going to be a thing. We decided to go back with plywood instead of traditional deck boards because the plywood has a tensile strength, shear strength, side to side and longitudinally that the deck boards just cannot offer both directions. So I'm not positive what I'm going to get yet, but it's likely going to be marine grade plywood. Yes, I am aware that will need to be treated on all 6 sides, and we will do it, and it will be maintained. Note the addition of the 3-inch angle iron across the inside of the rear frame rails. That was done by the previous owner, in case you can't tell by the rust. Obviously, those are going to stay there. Might even do more along the inside of the front rails. One of the things I'm planning is to put a bar square tube from just up inside where the ball mount is, if you will, and run that back. I don't know how far. Maybe all the way to here. That would be like a 12-foot piece. Won't be cheap, but it would be worth it. The cup, I don't know what you want to call these things, but the mounts for the side stakes anyways. Some of them are twisted in different directions. They'll likely be removed and redone. I'm not really planning on replacing this side angle, but I might reinforce it here or there. You can see where there's one missing here. That one at the back is a little far away, but that's pretty torqued. So the plate for the cans from the propane from the camper will be removed. All the wiring is going to come off and go in the recycling. This right up there, it's a little tough to see given the angle that you're at, but maybe not. Try to zoom in on it a little bit. You can see a couple of holes in the top of that bar. That bar will be cut out and replaced. The fenders. Okay, so I think that looks just ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's got to go. I'll trim them down. I'll set them down in some more. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. There's plenty of distance between the two for us to use. I believe I measured like 64 inches. The plan is to have more reinforcements in the middle because that's where the heaviest tractor would be. And then at the front, probably leave it just about like it is. The back, we're not sure yet. It looks fine for what it is, but you see right here, there's this added on going back. So I'm going to cut this all off, but leave the original framework in place. I'll likely leave this piece in place. And I don't know what I'm going to do back here, but this piece of bumper tubing is garbage, as you can see. This cross member, yes, point at it so that people can see it. This cross member and that cross member both need to be replaced. They're soft. The back one's definitely bent. I don't know how much room we're going to need at the back here. Trina's two tractors that would ride back here need about 5 feet. There's closer to 6.5, 7 here. So we can shorten this up some. Electric brakes, those will be taken apart, cleaned up, put back together. They worked a few years ago. The guy wasn't using them. He didn't need them. Not sure what else here. That's pretty much it. So that's where we're at. Questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions? I have a thread on Red Square. I'd love to hear from you. Also, obviously, in these comments. So let's see what happens here. See ya.